Enjoyed this man's work on Saturday Night Live for 7 seasons, 6 years, in his new movie, Killing Gunther, his directorial debut. He stars in it, along with SNL alum Bobby Moynihan as well, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's good to see Taran Killam here on the show. How are you,
Thank
sir?
you so much for having me. I'm excellent. Thank you.
Let's describe for the radio audience the glory that you are draped in right now.
Yep, I got my number 99 Rams Aaron Donald jersey on, the 5-2 Rams.
Your 5-2 Los Angeles Rams.
5-2. It's very exciting.
And you also don't have like a new school Rams. This is sort of like heaven can wait type era.
Yeah,
Rams.
It's my
colors.
Warren Beatty throwback, classic,
Yes.
true blue and gold. Yeah.
So what is the genesis of this fandom here?
I am a longtime NFL fan, but I grew up here in Los Angeles. When I was younger, I was very into the Raiders, the Marcus Allen, Bo Jackson, Howie Long. I mean, just such a fun time to be a fan. And then they went away very early into my lifetime. And then in college, I promised myself, if ever LA got a team again, I was going all in. And it was serendipitous that it was the Rams, because the first ever sporting event I ever went to, my father took me to a Rams game at the Coliseum when I was less than a year old. So it was
now that's a bold choice by your dad.
I know.
Right there.
I think I was an easygoing kid, or it was just like the noise of the Coliseum would drown out my screams.
So you're an infant child being brought to a Coliseum for a Rams game.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And so it's been fun. So as soon as it was announced they're back, I was all in. And season ticket holder. I've been to almost every home game since they've been back. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you're diehard. You're true blue. Well,
I am. Thank you. Yeah, I was supposed to go out to London to the Arizona game, and I'm between here and Atlanta right now. I'm shooting a movie in Atlanta, so it just didn't work out schedule-wise. But,
plus, it kind of would have been awkward for the man who plays King George III in Hamilton.
Exactly.
To be there in London.
Right.
Kind of awkward.
Yeah, rubbing it in sort of a passive, hostile way. Yeah.
But the fact that the Rams are 5-2, and it's each passing week, it gets more and more real here.
We did not win 5 games last year. We are now 5-2. We play the Giants next. I'll let that hang there. Then we have Houston.
So are you assuming wins now?
Dude, look, any given Sunday, but come on. Come on. The Cowboy game was so huge, because it really decided any kind of momentum that this team has. Was it a fluke the first few games, or has McVay really has he breathed life into this team? And I really think he has. I'm hearing so much more this season than under Fisher. And I have no beef with Fisher, but I'm hearing so much more just individual players talking at press conference about the team, about community, about working together. And it's showing, and it's very, very, very exciting.
Taran Killam here on the Rich Eisen Show. It would not be a problem if you had a beef with Jeff Fisher. I mean,
know.
It seems like it's kind of okay. It's assumed.
I just don't have enough of a history that I'm going to take that on. I was at many a game at the Coliseum last year where people were really tearing into him, and I don't like that. That's not
Eric Dickerson being one of them.
Yeah. I got to meet Eric at a preseason game this year, and I freaked out. It was really, really cool because he was playing at the game I was at when I was listening to Euro. So he didn't remember me though, which is so insulting.
But you remember him.
I was the infant in section D, row 14. But I was invited to the Rams practice the week after Fisher was let go. And
were you there?
I was at the practice. I was there hanging out, and it was a gloomy afternoon.
That's got to be awkward.
It was very. I was like, "Hey, I'm really excited you guys are back," and they're like, "Here's a pair of receiving gloves. Get out of here."
Go on down the road.
Yeah.
Taran Killam here on the Rich Eisen Show. So your time on SNL, you didn't kick the tires on the Jets or the Giants while you were
attempted
out there?
Because literally my first season was the Hard Knocks season of the Jets and Rex Ryan's Jets, and Sanchez was there, and Sanchez came and was a guest on the show, and I tried. I tried with them. I was like, this is fun, and I don't have a team, and all, but it was tough.
Hold on a minute. Sanchez was on SNL?
He came and he did a guest spot. I think he was actually on it a season before I was there. I think Tina Fey hosted, and he came and did a walk-on in the monologue or something like
Sanchez
that. Mark
did.
Sanchez, man. Yeah.
Yeah, how the mighty have somewhat.
I know.
By the way,
it's so hard to play professional football.
It is that.
It's so hard.
There's no question about that. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Certainly when, again, the Rams are again 5-2 right here in this season. So tell me about Killing Gunther starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. How did you get Arnold to do a comedy with you and Bobby Moynihan, your wife, Kobe Smulders, as well as in this too?
Yeah. It was, I mean, it was, I don't know. I still don't really understand it. I had made video offers for a couple of actors who had hosted SNL.
Yes.
And I thought because of the personal connection, they would be like, oh, Taran's doing a movie, because the role of Gunther is kind of like a third act reveal. He's the villain. So it only worked like a week, and someone could do me a favor. And the second actor we offered it to, the agent that represents him also represents Arnold, and said, would you consider Arnold Schwarzenegger? And I was like, give me -5 minutes. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And I couldn't believe it. And the thing is I'd called in favors from people at SNL, some of our pre-tape crew, to come film like sort of professional looking videos of, hey, we're offering you this part. And couldn't even consider Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, couldn't it, like out of the stratosphere in terms of accessibility to me, and having been a fan my whole life. And his rep said, you know, he'd really love a video. So like that night, I forced my wife to stay up till like 10:30 filming like sort of like a slapdash kind of like just filmed on my phone video. And we sent it to Arnold the next day, and he reached out and said, I'm going to read the script and let's talk about it. And
so what was your first meeting with him like?
First meeting in person, I went to his house.
Okay.
He has an actual like sand camouflage Hummer in his driveway. He has like huge dogs, and as I walk up to like meet him beside his pool, he's like FaceTiming or Skyping with someone in Austria, so he's speaking German. It was like so intimidating. A box of cigars on the table, but he was great, and he really responded to the script, and he'd been looking to do a comedy, because I think like the last earnest comedy he did was like Jingle All the Way, which is a long time ago now, in the 90s. And he got, and I was saying to him, like, it was so fortuitous that he was interested in his name came across, because the role of Gunther, I said, if we can just capture part of your essence from Pumping Iron, of that charming, like hate to love him, you know, like $1 million smile bully, that's exactly who this guy is. And the movie is in sort of a documentary style. So it was really fun to.
Killing Gunther, limited theatrical release right now in a theater near you. You can check it out video on demand on September 22nd is when that came out as well. Night School, you're in with Kevin Hart coming out next year. Is that the movie in Atlanta?
That's what we're shooting in Atlanta right now. Yeah. Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish, Rob Riggle, Marilyn Rice Cub, Al Madrigal. It's a good cast. It's going to be a good one.
Riggle's a big Chiefs fan.
I know. We've been swapping. We did Monday Night Football for him a couple weeks back, where they squeaked out the W at the end there, and then I've been chatting football.
And then I know you're friends with Joe Manganiello, who's been on this show as well.
Yes.
Did you remind him, Taran Killam, that your Rams have the same record as his Steelers?
No, I will though. I will. I haven't. I'm supposed to go over to his house on Sunday to create a Dungeons and Dragons character.
Okay. No. Say what? Hold on. What do you mean, the Dungeons and Dragons character?
Joe Manganiello is deep in the community of Dungeons and Dragons, of D&D, and has invited me, because we share a love of all things nerdy, comic books and fantasy and stuff. So he's going to help me design my own first ever Dungeons and Dragons character, and I'm going to join his league, his guild, his
League of
his
Justice,
crew, yeah.
So Joe Mangan, are you aware of this, Chris Brockman?
What?
That Alcide.
I'm very confused.
We know. Okay. Joe Mangan, Mr. Magic Mike.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
6'5", 225.
Yeah.
Chiseled from steel. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he oversees a dark magic dragon mage or something like that.
Oh, yeah. What?
Now, is Sofia Vergara going to be involved?
You know, I don't think she's as involved with the D&D. I think she calls that me time.
Not an our time.
No,
it's a me time.
I'm stepping away.
That's funny. Wow. That's funny. So check out Killing Gunther, Taran Killam, man. I'd love meeting you. And
right back at you, Rich. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming in here.
Pleasure.
And on behalf of all my Hamilton crazed family, attaboy.
Thanks,
what a
dude.
great performance as King George III.
Thanks, man.
You got it. Taran Killam on Twitter as well. Check out Killing Gunther.
For more Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Rich Eisen Show app.